The 10 regional governors answer present in Yaoundé tomorrow at the start of the second semester of the Governors' Conference. The stakes of the conference under the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, in this newscast. The Pan-African Association African Synergy Against HIV, AIDS and Suffering turns 18 with achievements galore. Top, the reduction of the mother-to-child transmission of the virus. Plus, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon have grown out their claws for the second leg AFCON qualifying clash against the Mambas of Mozambique in Maputo on Monday. Good evening and welcome to the 7:30 News. I am Benin Bumagana in Yaoundé.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
Coming to you live from Studio 5 of the CRTV Production Center in PATYCHOU. The Pan-African Association of First Ladies, dubbed African Synergy for the fight against HIV and AIDS and hardship, is 18 years old. For 18 years, the Pan-African Association has carried out several projects, prominent amongst which is the reduction of the mother-to-child transmission of the AIDS virus and breaking of the stigma thereof. In the following report, we hear from Inanga Kebi about 18 years of the Pan-African Association.
It was at the Yaoundé Conference Center in 2001 when some 17 African First Ladies present in Yaoundé for the France Africa Summit honored Mrs. Chantal Biya's invitation for a sideline mini-summit of First Ladies. The motive was to get the First Ladies involved in the AIDS battle. The outcome of this laudable initiative by Mrs. Chantal Biya was the creation of the Pan-African Association of First Ladies in 2002, when the top women of the continent converged in Yaoundé for their first ordinary Congress.
18 years after the creation of African Synergy, we're still fighting against HIV, AIDS, and other suffering. The necessity to salute the effort, the humanitarian commitment of our First Lady. We still benefit from the support of the head of state, her husband, who is very vigilant. He's never failed to assist African Synergy to achieve its goals.
Concerned with the vulnerability of women, youths, and girls vis-a-vis the AIDS pandemic, African Synergy organized training sessions in 6 African countries on the reduction of the mother-to-child transmission through the use of antiretroviral drugs.
We are proud to be members of a team from the beginning.
With the youth sensitization program AIDS-Free Holidays, that has been a milestone in breaking the silence and stigma that surrounded the AIDS virus, African Synergy has contributed enormously in the reduction of the AIDS virus amongst the youths and in the school milieu. Today, African Synergy can boast of 29 members, with Mrs. Chantal Biya as the pioneer founding president.
Ahead of the Roundtable Conference for the financing of CEMAC integrative projects scheduled for November 16 and 17 in Paris, final touches and last-minute adjustments are being made on the side of the events. The Roundtable Conference will be sourcing for over 3,500 billion CFA francs to finance 11 integrative projects in the sub-region. On what is expected on day one of the conference, that is tomorrow Monday, here is Caroline Okie.
It is here in Paris that for the very first time, all the 6 member states will be meeting with all important partners, donors, international institutions, private investors to mobilize over 3,500 billion CFA francs needed to fund the 11 integrative projects.
We are confident that everything will go okay and that we will get the money we are looking for. It's a special context. As you know, we are in a context of pandemic. But you cannot believe that all our ministers will be present, that the French government will be present, that the international community will be here. And we are receiving messages, including from the African Union, because they are sending special representatives to this meeting. It will be a win-win operation.
Last-minute adjustments here and over there final discussions. Meantime, the 2 days conference will center on 4 axes, from facilitation of transportation and exchanges to common market and economic diversifications, with electricity, interconnection and communication having full funding, as well as human capital following suit.
The second semester conference of governors for the year 2020 opens in Yaoundé tomorrow. The conference comes amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the imminent organization of regional council elections, and the celebration of end-of-year festivities. The conference sessions will be presided over by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji. Ibneza Akanga now presents the stakes of the conference.
The second semester conference of governors for 2020 is holding at a time when there is need to step up the health and security disposition in the 10 regions, given the turn of events in the country within the last 6 months. Separatist terrorists have attacked schools in the northwest and southwest regions, whereas the school year has started well. Acts of terrorism have been recorded in Yaoundé with the detonation of improvised explosive devices, though without any human loss. In Douala, there has been a recrudescence of urban criminality with the phenomenon of microbes in which youths move in groups on the streets assaulting people. Added to these is the COVID-19 pandemic with several cases detected in the school milieu. On the 21st of November 2020, campaigns for the first ever regional council elections will begin throughout the national territory. These are some of the health and security challenges facing the governors as they meet in Yaoundé. The governors will present reports on the situation of their regions, make proposals, and receive directives on how to handle the challenges facing them. The objective being to ensure a COVID-19-free academic year, a hitch-free organization of the regional council elections, and a hitch-free celebration of end-of-year festivities.
The population of the Yaoundé 2, 5 and 6 municipalities have resolved to work with the local administrative authorities to shun any form of urban disorder and keep their localities clean. They took the engagement in the presence of the city mayor, Luc Messia-Tangana, while on his maiden walking visit to the council areas. Romeo Kenye followed and has his report.
Visiting Yaoundé 2 Council, the city mayor Luc Messia-Tangana told the population to be crusaders of cleanliness. He stated hygiene and sanitation should be made a daily activity. This, he said, should begin with the eradication of disorder plaguing the transportation sector.
The message you give to the population, it's important for our city, to clean the city, to be very, very good with the urban rollers.
In Yaoundé 5, he recommended the need for the preservation of the environment and urbanization norms for Yaoundé to become an epitome of city from others.
We want to thank him and to promise him that we will continue to clean our city, our council every day.
Over in Yaoundé 6 in BMRC, they call for the respect of local authorities and effective collaboration with the locals for a smooth decentralization process was echoed. The city mayor continues his Meet the People tour next week.
After 50 years of existence, the Église évangélique du Cameroun, Korondongo 2 parish, dedicates its new temple of worship. The church was dedicated during a divine service under the theme Tolerance, Reconciliation and Restoration of Peace in the Body of Christ. As Gerald Nanje Yambe reports, External Relations Minister Lejeune Belambela attended the service as the principal coordinator of the ceremony in the presence of other government ministers. Here is his report.
Église évangélique du Cameroun, Nkondongo 2 parish dedicates its new house of worship to God. The architectural edifice, baptized the temple is opened to all faithful of the EEC.
We have built community parishes everywhere in Yaoundé, but we have never had the opportunity to dedicate a parish, so it is very symbolic to us.
Minister Mbela Mbila, the principal coordinator of the dedication ceremony, just like the chief celebrants, used the occasion to preach tolerance, reconciliation, and the restoration of peace in the body of Christ.
We are calling on the faithful to use the new church to come together and to continue the work for which the church has been built for the good of Cameroon.
The event, a blend of color and symbolism, was graced with the presence of other cabinet ministers and a cross-section of the EEC family.
Let's stay in the Église évangélique du Cameroon. This time, youths of the church have encouraged Cameroonians to be united in diversity while promoting values of living together for a sustainable peace in the country. They were in Douala to make financial contributions to persons living with disabilities. More from you, Romeo Kenya.
Under the banner of the youth movement of the Église évangélique du Cameroon, they gathered as one man to strongly condemn the killings of some school children perpetrated last October 24 in Kumba. United in diversity and the promotion of peace for an emergent Cameroon is their watchword.
This gathering enables us to promote values of living together. This is what we actually need for peace to reign in our country.
The Christian Association also handed financial assistance to persons with disabilities drawn from all 10 regions of the country. They rounded up their visit to the littoral region with an interreligious service in the presence of administrative authorities.
Let's stay in church. Some Cameroonians have been learning how to become better persons and individuals of a family and of the society at large. They gathered at the Atna parish of the EPC in Yaoundé to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the General Supervisor of Institut Lyon, a new denominational Christian training center. Products of the institute used the events to share their experiences. Emmanuel Avenue reports.
They gathered as a people thankful to God for 50 years of one who has impacted their lives for good.
I've chosen to help others to succeed in their life too by training them. It's a pleasure for me to succeed to bring a good link between what is in the Bible and the realities we are facing.
Prayers are said for Institut Uranus, a non-denominational Christian training center for making better the lives of many.
This institute has really impacted my life. My husband really liked the type of woman that I'm now. A woman that tried to understand what the husband wants.
And the General Supervisor sees better days ahead.
I'm having a big challenge now to improve all I have done till 50 in order for more people to benefit.
Molding characters of individuals and their professional lives, as well as pushing for a better society, is their mission.
On the occasion of the 63rd anniversary of the Presbyterian Church Day observed this Sunday, Christians of PCC in Simeyong here in Yaoundé have been challenged to be steadfast in prayers and seek God's mercy and blessings. The call was made by the parish pastor, Reverend Emmanuel Masok, while officiating at the special Jubilee Church service. Romeo Kenya again.
In unity, they walk into the temple of God to praise Christ Jesus. The Presbyterian Church in Cameroon is 63 years old. Religious maturity gotten from a separation from the Basel mission. This year's anniversary is placed on the theme, Keep Watching. A biblical inspiration is started from 1 Corinthians 16 verse 13. In his sermon, the prelate calls on faithful to be resilient and robust in faith.
We are celebrating our spiritual impact across the nation. We are celebrating our common resolve for a great future in evangelization.
The PC Day in Simeyong has been a moment to commend constitutional autonomy, while in a projected message, the moderator urges worshippers to be pragmatic Christians.
Importantly, he has called Presbyterians to be good citizens, bearers of peace.
The cutting of the cake crowned the Eucharistic celebration and hence brings new hope in this evangelic race.
Let's stay in church. Christians this time of the Presbyterian Church in Mana and Dom in the Central region have lifted up their voices to thank God for his support as the church celebrates another anniversary. Christians of both parishes met during a joint service in Dom today, with Reverend Lasmin Seidu and others after ministers of the gospel. Joyce Tata reports.
Through songs and dances, Christians of PC Mana and PC in
visible. The message I have is a message of love. The message I have is the fortification of the message of the moderator. The moderator has presented the development of the church. He has presented the vision and the mission of the church. To call them to love, to strengthen unity amongst each other, to make the church relevant in the communities.
On PC's 63rd anniversary celebration day, the Christians in attendance were told not to surrender to the desires of the flesh, but rather live right for the good of the church.
And the year 2020 marks the 25th anniversary of the Mouvement de la Prière des Mères of the Roman Catholic Church, celebrated worldwide. Members of this movement met at the Our Lady of Victory Cathedral to commemorate this day in a mass said by the Yaoundé Metropolitan Archbishop, His Lordship Jean Barga. Karine Sandra Eyike reports.
The Holy Mary has been interceding for their prayers in 25 years. The 25th Jubilee anniversary was spiced with a series of activities, amongst which conferences and roundtables focus on the necessity of practicing love and forgiveness for a better society and a Thanksgiving Mass.
We all know what's happening in our country, so that's why I ask them to pray and to take our nation as their first child, so that when they will entrust to God, our nation for sure will be the merciful God will answer us.
At a time when Cameroon is faced with security challenges, the Yaoundé Metropolitan Archbishop Jean Barga encouragements to stand firm on their duties as mothers comes as a push to intensify prayers for the return of peace and stability in Cameroon.
The Mass is over. Let's go out of church now. The Association of Former Students of Collège La Retraite, dubbed Association Génération Retraitée, has celebrated their yearly Congress, Journée du Retrait, during the occasion chaired by the former president of the association, Benoit Placide Mevoa. He, the newly elected bureau, was installed. As we hear in this report by Victor Siga.
Members of the faith-based association during this 20th annual gathering discussed stakes and perspective of the implementation of a platform of joint actions of associations of former students of confessional establishment in Yaoundé.
Together we have main objective. One objective is to bring in college and retreat all the things which college had given us.
The newly elected president of the group, Fernand Didier Manga, and the new executive bureau are expected to work towards achieving mainly this objective, though the general growth of the association is on the agenda. Earlier, a holy mass was said for peace to reign in Cameroon and for the smooth functioning of the group. Coming together under the slogan, friendship, solidarity and development, they are out to reinforce the moral, intellectual and financial capacities of vulnerable people.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
Let's talk about COVID now. A tour of the different regions takes us today to the littoral region of Cameroon, where some cases of the COVID-19 pandemic were recently detected in some schools in Douala. So, What measures have been taken to prevent the spread of the virus out there? For answers, we meet Baldwin Sama von Cayman at the Public Health Emergency Center with his guest, Dr. Albert Maka Mambo, Littoral Regional Delegate of Public Health. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Benin Bumagana. After the Central region yesterday, this Sunday evening, we take you to the Littoral region of Cameroon, where our guest is the Littoral Regional Delegate for Public Health, Dr. Albert Mambo Maka. Mr. Regional Delegate, good evening.
Good evening.
Tell us, Mr. Regional Delegate, we've had a lot of so much talk about the spread of the coronavirus in the school milieu in the Littoral region of Cameroon. Explain to us, as Regional Delegate for Public Health in that part of the country, what exactly is the situation?
As from today, in the Littoral region, we have noticed some cases of COVID-19 virus infection in some schools in 3 districts: the district of Mbangé, the district of Cité des Palmiers, the district of Lokbaba. And as the minister said yesterday, many measures have been taken so far. So we started to take care of the patients and also their contacts and the whole schools. So this is the situation as for now.
Mr. Regional Delegate, what message do you have for the population in the Littoral region, especially those in the school milieu, in as much as sensitizing them about this virus?
We can see that the barrier measures have been forgotten everywhere. So what I can say today is just to ask people to start again following all the dispositions of the government as far as these measures are concerned. To wash the hands, to put masks, and the distanciation too in the schools. For that, we are working with the Ministry of MINESEC, with MINEDUP too, to let all the schools have a point focal about COVID, to follow whether the measures are followed in the schools, whether they are respected, and also to know how to follow all the measures about the post in the schools.
Thank you so much, Dr. Albert Mambo Maka. You are the Regional Delegate for Public Health in the Littoral region of Cameroon. That's the situation in that part of the country, Benin Bumagana, with health experts who are putting in so much to try as much as possible to limit the spread of the coronavirus in the Littoral region of Cameroon, especially in the school milieu. Back to you, Benin Bumagana.
Thank you very much, Baldwin Sama von Cayman. A multimedia center and all the human development projects will soon be constructed in Bipindi and Lolodov in the Ocean Division of the South region. It is the initiative of sons and daughters of Bipindi and Lolodov under the umbrella of the association Arbilo. Let's get details from Polycarp Atiye.
The 2020 General Assembly of the Association for the Sons and Daughters of Bipindi and Lolodov, known in its French acronym as ABILO, was based on strategizing projects that will enhance socio-cultural development of these communities.
We have decided this year to install in Lolodov and Bipindi what they call Centre Multimedia.
The General Assembly also saw the creation of a new branch of Abilo in the resource city of Kribi in a bid to extend its tentacles across the country.
I'm very pleased to be there, and our objective is to do that, the development of our association here in Kribi.
The members of the Association for the Sons and Daughters of Bipindi and Lolodov, with this initiative to develop their community, match their action with the adage which says, ask not what your country has done for you, but what you have done for your country.
The mortal remains of the late president of the Chamber of Agriculture, Fisheries, Livestock and Forest have been laid to rest at his village, Zulabod, in the Bumba and Goko division. He was posthumously decorated as commander of the National Order of Valor by the representative of the head of state, the governor of the East region. He died in Tunis, capital of Tunisia, on September 22nd. Constantine Bom was among the mourners.
A feast here at Zoloboth in the Bumba and Goko division, where the mortal remains of the president of the Chamber of Agriculture, Fisheries, Livestock and Forest, Roland Martha Joseph, were laid to rest. He was posthumously decorated as commander of the National Order of Valor by the representative of the head of state, Governor Gregoire Mvongo. This was followed by a requiem mass celebrated by the Bishop of Lukaduma, Paul Lossi, whose funeral message conveyed words of hope to the bereaved family and the entire community.
We are lost our best father, best friend, our best teacher. It is difficult.
He had served in both houses of the National Assembly under the CBDM. He was appointed on May 8, 2020. Many say he was a multidimensional man. Rosenwald was appointed to head the Chamber of Agriculture with a mission to defend the interests of his members with the public authorities at both national and international levels.
Let's talk sports now. The Indomitable Lions of Cameroon held their first training this afternoon at the Zimpeto National Stadium in Maputo ahead of the Group F AFCON second leg qualifying game against the Mambas of Mozambique. The team got a push from a group of fans who drove in from South Africa for the game. Local authorities have announced that 5,000 spectators will be allowed in the stands to watch the game. Details with CRTV Special Envoy to Maputo, Simon Lyonga Lamolombe.
It was a lone training session for the 5-time African champions on Mozambican soil before the game, as Team Cameroon prepares for their second outing in just 4 days against the same opponents. All the players on Antonio Conceicão's list are fit for the game as they await final COVID-19 test results by the local federation before the final say on who gets into the match sheet this Monday.
The same motivation we had in Douala, it's the same motivation we brought here. We came with the victory already. We had one at home, so we came here to look for the second one. They didn't give us, they didn't make it for us easy, and now we are playing away in their home. So I think it's going to be tougher.
Earlier, the team was welcomed at the stadium by a small but vocal group of their supporters who drove in from neighboring South Africa to throw their weight behind them.
The first thing that motivated me to come to Mozambique is the fact that I have my elder brother, Kunde Malong. I first of all initiated a plan to come and support him, to give him moral support, and also the crisis that is happening in Cameroon. It was for me a way to tell all my brothers and sisters in Cameroon who have been victims of the killing, everything that has been happening at schools, that we are together with them.
Out here, social distance measures are being taken in the stands to host 5,000 spectators, expected to push the Mambas, who are at the doorsteps of a 5th qualification for the continent's biggest football showpiece.
Thank you very much, Simon Lyonga Lamolombe. And it is on that note that we come to the end of this edition of the news. At 8:30, of course, you're going to follow Dudu and Nicole. Well, for me, it is good night. God bless you. Have a wonderful time.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing.
CRTV News, ici, toute l'info.